Hey, 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 and happy Monday. I am so grateful to be here. My name is Melissa Price, and I am happy to introduce to you Lessons and Legacies. This is episode 1 and the big launch, the big debut, like I said. Um, Basically, in today's episode, I have a very special guest with me that's going to help me talk about it and kind of talk about what the book that this show is molded off of has meant to her, and also share a little bit about what she's doing in her world as well. She will be a repeat guest for me every Monday from now until we decide to switch things up. But yes, my name is Melissa Price, like I said. I am a brand new published author. My book is called Lessons We've Learned, Legacies of Life, and I actually co-wrote it with my mother. Her name is Renee Bodell. She is in Detroit, Michigan, and I am in Charlotte, North Carolina. And basically, this book was a collaboration among children starting at 4 years old all the way up through 94 years old, adults, all different walks of life, all over the country, Black, white, Asian, British, poor, parents, not parents, students. And it was such a blessed journey to write the book. And then I'll tell you a little bit more here once I bring my guest on as to what led to this show. Because it's because of my guests that I actually began sharing this virtually anyway. So we're going to talk about how this show was birthed and what the goals of it are, and we'll go from there. So I would love to introduce my sister. I can't even call her my best friend anymore because we're totally family now. So this is author, speaker, soul coach, prophetic poet, and master of bling, Precious Pauling.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so blessed. You know, you have coached me through the book. I've watched you. I followed in your footsteps for so long. And because of you, got the courage and got through this book. And because of you, I'm here today sharing this now for round 2 in the video world. Even bought my first webcam and stuff. So I am here singing your praises, and I'm so grateful. Thank you for launching this with me.
Listen, let me say, I'm just, first of all, I am so proud of you. When I say, you know, I didn't know
the world coming from you, because like I said, I've always looked up to you.
Listen, you know, we met in 2018 for the first time. We've met, and thank God for the omnipresence. That's why I say the internet to me is like God. You know,
it's everywhere.
What your impact is, but you can be everywhere before you even meet somebody. Mm-hmm. And for me, when you talk about me, to me, it's almost surreal because it gives me the experience that I guess it would feel like. See, for so long, I was listening to people like Oprah that would inspire me to be great, and just only dreamed of the opportunity to be like, listen, I heard you and it changed my life. And right. I could imagine what that would look like for me to meet her and be like, you never met me, but I was watching your show and I was raising my kids and I was a dreamer, and you sparked me back up and you let me remember what I always dreamed about in the beginning. That's what I would want to tell her. So when you say stuff like, oh, when I read your dedication, when you shouted me out in the shout out, and I was in tears when you wrote that poem for me in the beginning of my children's book, it was surreal for me because what I was doing effortlessly, it was impacting you, which was like I had to be the movement. It's almost like I had to live in it. And so I was just trying to show up like somebody showed up for me. And in doing that, look what you birthed and look who you, and you say is because, and I'm like, I can't believe all that was in there, which is why I say I am the soul coach, the mentor. Like, I just want to stir you up because you already got everything you need. I just want to remind you. So this beautiful poetry that's in this book. And I say this is like one of my favorite books to date. one of my favorite. It goes down as one of my favorites. And most importantly, it's so many perspectives. There's so many different ways somebody is shining their light. It is so many different valleys that became mountaintops. It is the epitome of I choose me, that self-love initiative, that being able to say that I went through that thing and guess how I'm going to make it matter. I'm going to shine my light on you about it. I'm going to laugh about it. I'm going to enjoy the success of it. I'm going to have faith through it. I'm going to have resilience in it. And when you think about the chapters, that you're describing life in a nutshell from so many different people's eyes. And I think it's to know that that was trapped in you, and you can say thank you to me. I can say thank you to God for giving me the strength to show up so that you can produce such beautiful legacy like this right here. This is a game changer. I'm so glad I could be a part of the idea that a piece of me mattered for you to show up in that. That's what just makes me smile.
More than just a piece, And I have to showcase your book. 365 days. So this book is actually what brought us together.
Yes, it is. Yes,
so we have to give, because you're going to be coming on Mondays with me, right?
Yes,
we got to tell people how we came to be, So Precious and I met online, but the first time we met face to face was at this book launch. My husband, even our husbands met for the first time.
Yes.
And I don't think they met again for like a couple years after.
Yeah.
But so I met her there, and then I was very inspired by the I Choose Me #NoMoreExcuses movement, and I began going to all of her events. And then she came up with a beautiful children's book just for both boys and girls. She got 2 copies. How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I started taking my kids because she would play games and have all kinds of crafts, and we did stuffing.
Before pandemic, back before pandemic, we were having a good time.
We just kept visiting and going, and I continued to be inspired, and got to the point where my mom and I wanted to do this book. And man, you squished a lot out of me. You inspired me a lot of the way, and I know when it got to the end where it was like, out of my hands, and then you had to go through all like the whole publishing steps and stuff. You were there to help me through that, coach me through like the emotional woo of all that, because that was wild, And then when the book came out, like you have been such a big advocate, and you've helped push this along. And again, I want you to take over here in a minute. I want everyone to know why this became a show now. Okay. Precious had introduced the hashtag I Hire Me 30-day challenge. Like it was just over a month ago, right?
Yeah.
Month and a half or so. And it was a challenge. I'll let you talk about it, but I took that challenge, and what I did with that challenge was go live around 2:00 every day and just read from my book. And I would share everybody's pieces. It wasn't just my writing and whatnot. So it was really cool how it evolved. And it was even more fulfilling than writing the book, was getting to share it, and then having people, return comments and comment while the video is going on and share their stories. And I just felt like I wanted to put a visual to it. I want everybody to see these faces and hear these voices, see these kids, see these old people, see these people in London, see the single moms with the kids running around in the back, and mine will be coming on, But I want you to talk about that challenge, because if it weren't for that challenge, I totally would have still been drowning in time management, lost for words, and depressed that I have no time in my life. That brought me to being able to do this. And yet another thing I've grown through and been coached through with you. So share with everyone the 30-day challenge and where they can look up and join.
Okay. So I'm so glad that you spoke about the challenge, because it has been like, you got to go through stuff to realize what it is.
That's what brought me here, was the challenge. Honestly.
Was the challenge. And so I was doing the Become Your Magic Power Hour, and while I was doing it, I was recognizing that, what does it mean to become your magic? What does it mean to find those moments in order to equip yourself? What does that mean if we have everything we need? I was trying to get more to the basics for the mentoring of the soul. So while I was sitting there, I was like, you know what? God I'm telling you, he just whispered, I hire myself. I started to think, what does it mean when you get a job? When somebody hires you at a job, what is that for? It is to create a momentum. I said the average of us, we averagely work a 40-hour week at some point, whether you're an entrepreneur now, at some point in your life, you know what it is to hold down a job in order to what? To move forward the dream of somebody else. Because every job was somebody else's insight, their vision that they turned into whatever it is. So we work our whole life in somebody else's dream for somebody else's dream, unconscious of the momentum that we're creating. Some people get awards saying that for 20 years, I held down this position with this momentum in this area. And so I thought about our lives. The way we create that is to sit down and honor the time that we was given. I recognize that we fulfill roles and titles, but we were sent here on assignment. And so if God said that we are the church and it is our responsibility to give the church 10%, then time is money. Money is time. And so when I thought about time and money, it was like, God gives us, I did the math, how many you get 24 hours a day and 30 days in a month, that's 720 hours. So everybody who hears me right now has
the math. Listen up to the math, guys, because the math is what
the math is you gotta listen to the math. So I see that we get 720 hours. The reason why I see that God said he has no respect of person is because he gives everybody the same amount of time. Nobody gets different time. If you lived up until this point, you lived into last month, we're at the beginning of December, that means that you got 720 hours, like I got 720 hours, like Melissa got 720 hours. The difference is what we did with our time.
Right. What are you going to do with it?
What you do with it. So now if you get 40 hours a week and you say, I want to hire myself, we broke it down simply like this. Every day I'm with myself for 24 hours a day. That is 4 quarters. I'm going to sleep for about 6 hours, give an extra hour, 7 hours.
If you're lucky. If you're lucky, right?
You're lucky. If you're working for somebody, you're already giving them 8 hours. So maybe you would have to hire yourself part-time until you can hire yourself full-time. But I want you to know that the area that you hire yourself in is the area that you need the work in. So if you say I'm going to do the 24 hours, that just means 6 hours a day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, 2 hours in the evening. To refill yourself could be anything. I could watch a TV program with laughter because I need to add laughter to my life.
Right.
Perfect. You could read. She has, oh my God, Melissa has one of the funniest laughter chapters I've ever read. So you get so much balance in this book. You could say that I want to, for an hour, sit down and read the stories of laughter chapter. So you got to decide what it is that you want to create momentum in, what you want to fix in your life. Then you have to hire yourself and clock into you like you do that job. When you miss your child's birthday, when you miss the events that you got to do. Some of us had to do that. Come on now. We missed because we have a responsibility. Well, you have a responsibility to the breath that God has given you. So I think that we got to start being real intentional with the time that we were given, even if it's for step by step. So figure out what area you want to increase, fix, then create a schedule that will show a plan toward that, and then commit to it for 30 days straight and see what new habits you form to create a new movement in that area of life and create the magic that you want. So that's in a nutshell. You can follow the group. You could be a part of it. We have iTunes. We'll put the link up later in this comments, and it is a I hire myself group so that you can share with the group how you're improving your life, because what we do with our life is tell somebody else, like Melissa's doing, this helped me. What good is it if you're not going to share what helped you? I'm not saying to do it, but because she completed the 30 days, she got the evidence that, oh my God, I am my own magic. You just got to know that the proof is in the pudding. And so we're all evidence. me showing up, you showing up, this show right now, this is 30 days of showing up. Could you imagine what
right.
it would look like if you did it for 365 days? Come on. What would your life look like? It would look like that vision board that you've been holding for 20 years. The vision board ain't coming to play because you haven't implemented the steps. The step is, what do you do after the yes? And you showed up after the yes, and that's why we're here. So I celebrate your yes, and most importantly, I celebrate the action steps after your yes, because knowledge is power. But I say applied knowledge is transformation. If you don't apply the knowledge, you cannot transform your life. So you're living in the life you dreamed of because you created it.
We keep going back to like the do the dang thing, right? Do the yes, do the thank you. Don't just say it. Don't just say yes. Be the yes. Do the yes. Do the thank you. So yeah, because of this challenge, I did complete. I'm happy to say I graduated from round 1. Yes. Yay.
With flying colors.
And so this is now round 2. And because of round 2, I also got to take a minute and shout out a wonderful friend, both of ours, William Brown.
Yes.
You can catch Precious and I both together every Sunday with William Brown on his show, One Word Conversations, Our View. We are blessed enough to be his co-hosts. But I have to say, if it weren't for Bill, this beautiful StreamYard Canva glory here would not have happened. Not only did he take the time to design my overlays, but he took an hour of his time yesterday to give me like the crash course for dummies 101 on Canva and StreamYard. So I actually got to spend a couple of hours this morning myself doing it myself, which you guys know how empowering it is to accomplish and say like, oh gosh, something that scares me so much. Like, he took the time and invested in me, and I was able to throw this extra stuff in here and make it cool. And I feel so proud I did it, you know? So thank you very much, Bill. And again, check us out. Look up One Word Conversations on Facebook, because we have a wonderful segment from 11 o'clock in the morning till 12 every Sunday called Our View. And we go through his words of the week, recap them, and there's always lots of laughter, shenanigans, insight. We cry. But yeah, so round 2 is this. This is the first time. This is the debut. I am live streaming now on YouTube.
I'm so proud of you. You have no
Lessons and Legacies. You can find Lessons and Legacies on YouTube, right? And we're live on Facebook too, but that's just under my name, Melissa Price. And yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about the purpose of the show and the purpose of the book, and then I want you to tell me what you think, like what it's meant to you, what it's done for you. You know, I know you've told me you've had some tears, which is good, and there's laughter. And I have to also give Precious props, because I think the only part of the book she's not in is like the forewords. I dedicated part of it to her. She's in multiple chapters with her own poetry. She's in, I think, in every chapter, because you did quotes, you did poetry, you had your whole family contribute. Your godniece Sierra, she did art for the book. Like, you're everywhere, I think, like in every single section of the book. So that's why I'm super excited to have you come back. I know that you have been invested in this journey with me like the whole time, not just here it is while I'm sharing it. You helped build this with me, and I'm super grateful and honored for you to share what you think of it, you know. But so yeah, lessons we've learned, legacies of life. The book was written basically to show that no matter how different we are, you know, doesn't matter our age, doesn't matter our race, doesn't matter our social status, what our job is, doesn't matter where we live or what we live in, doesn't matter if you like chocolate or vanilla ice cream, it doesn't matter. We are all beautiful and unique, yes. But the point of the book is to show that these things we go through, these experiences, our lessons in life, completely bind us together. Okay. There's 5 chapters in the book. It's love, faith, laughter,
Yeah.
resilience, and success. Now, I'll take a minute. Does everybody have a lesson in that? Whether it was somebody you were in love, you are in love, or you've never been loved. You got something to say about love. You got something to say about faith. Faith doesn't have to be just about God. It could be faith in your family, faith in your job, faith in yourself to get some stuff done. You know, everybody's laughed. Everyone's laughed. You got cousins in that. Everybody's got embarrassing stories. I'm excited to dive into the laughter.
That chapter, I'm telling you, I don't care what. Listen, I carry this in my book. If I'm having, listen, that laughter chapter, it had me in stitches. Like I cried in the laughter chapter. Those tears, those laughter tears are the best. They are so much more better than crying tears. That laughter chapter, it felt good to get that gut. And you know what I realized? So many people were removing their shame and getting in their lane in order to bring joy to somebody else. Didn't you notice that? It was like that
was a tough chapter too. That was honestly the hardest chapter to write, because there's like, laughter, you can't force that. It's got to be actual genuine experiences and things that happen, and you have to like capture it in the moment, because it's just really hard to create fake. I mean, I give it up to all the comedians out there, because just to like pull stuff out of your head that you think is going to make people laugh. But we were fortunate enough to capture some awesome stories, and I'm hoping when we get to that chapter, it's going to be very fun, and we're going to have embarrassing stories and tests and all that fun stuff. So
that's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be like such a journey of the world's perspective, if I say. Like it's like you're putting the soul of people on the line. And I love it, because that's what makes us who we are. That's what connects us. Our conversation, our stories, our experiences. That's what gives us empathy and sympathy. It's like, oh my goodness, it wasn't just me. So you laugh like, oh, I'm not the only one that experienced that. Or you laugh like, oh, well, I shouldn't even be embarrassed by my story. It just helps you uncover yourself. And that's what the real experience of life is all about, being authentic in your uncovering about what it took for you to make you so beautiful,
Right. And so again, the purpose is to show that first of all of these stories, none of these stories or poems end in like anything real bad, so there's the point is to show that there is a blessing in every lesson. Like, look for the bright spot, look for the way, and it's to show that we are all knit together by our stories, because we all got something to say about these 5 chapters. And to in the end of it, really, and this is something, I've listened to you speak about for years, Precious, is that your story matters. And you and I have gone through actual conversations over the years where it's like, oh my God, if she hadn't told me that, I wouldn't have been able to release myself from it. Just knowing that somebody else has experienced anything even similar or worse or whatever, that makes you feel like you're not the only one. So that's what I really discovered on this journey, is how similar we all are. And again, after taking that challenge and just sharing it from me, I just want to bring you guys more faces. I want, if you haven't been a contributor to this book, I still want you as a guest. Do you want to come on and share your like lessons in laughter? Do you want to come on and share like your lessons in resilience? You have a quote, it could be your grandpa's story, but you want to come on and just talk about it, we can. If you got some poetry about it, come on. I'm looking to do this Monday through Friday at 2:00. It will be YouTube. It will also be Facebook. And I would like to have guests Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesday and Thursday, I'll do kind of like a little bit more concentrated reading from the book. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would like for anybody who has contributed to please read your piece. And then anything that you have, your products and your stuff, I want you to share that. Share that. What are you doing to make a difference in this world? Because I am surrounded by blessed, amazing, gifted, talented, inspirational, soul-stirring people that need to be out there with the world. And I want to make this an opportunity to share my coaches, my friends, my inspirations with you too. So, yeah, that's where I am with like my goal for wanting the book to be visual. I want you guys to see everybody. So, yeah. What are your
Because
thoughts
that's
on
what
that?
power is, having the evidence, right? When somebody says it, it's like it's in real time. You know, when we're looking and we're scrolling, we're being faithful, it's giving us hope, that inspiration. So I love that you are stepping out there to go the next level. And that's what I mean by leveling up. You remember committing, gaining clarity into God's favor,
Yes.
to be liked by you. The more you like yourself, the more confident you are with what you have to offer, the more you're willing to stand in your story and create a legacy for your family. Like your beautiful daughters have their own store, they're entrepreneurs. Let's talk about
Because
teas and
right, because I shared that. I shared this with them. That's the important thing, right? You have to share this.
yeah.
Share your story, share your knowledge, share your gifts, share your talents. That's what you've always taught me, you know, and every time I've done it, and she's a great coach, y'all. I'm telling you, Precious Collin, you need to look her up if you need some coaching done because to get you where you need to be and on the high road, you
On the high
know.
road.
Sharing your story, oh, it benefits, it makes a difference, and it gets you to the next level. I feel so much more confident having accomplished that first 30 days that I took this on. Like, okay,
First, just
you
tell us
do
what
that,
did you
I
accomplish
can
in
do
those
this,
30 days.
you know?
Tell us what
And
you
now
accomplished.
what are you doing now? Now, after you completed your 30 days, she has gone through, she not only did she create the challenge and man that up and report on that daily and still take time to coach me on the side and help me with this, she's also launching something very brand new, which I'm super excited about. I can't wait to get my kids involved, and definitely something worth sharing with you guys. Tell them about the I See Me Academy.
Wait, you cut me off. I said you didn't tell us about what happened in the 30 days. You got a show, but what else did you get?
Oh, what do you mean?
You didn't tell them
Oh,
about the
yes. Well, I mean, I did post that. See, this is the first streaming thing. I feel like because I've already said it.
No,
Thank
tell
you for bringing
them.
that up.
No, tell
Yes,
them.
not
No,
only
we
did we
are,
do the
first of all, we
show,
are tooting your horn. We are
yes,
tooting your horn because of what you implemented for yourself. That 30 days didn't even give you a sense of time. You got a whole new cheerleading squad because you served notice on what you desire and they wanted it for you. You also got yourself another dream fulfilled, and then you went into the store. 2 stores, not just one, but
yes,
2, with your cards and your book. And like that is 30 days you did that because you
right.
committed to your magic. You committed to your, so while I love to be a coach, I just want to celebrate you for being coachable, for not only being coachable, but coming back and saying, man, that what you showed me, what you implemented gave me this. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
I'm just grateful to just say that I wanted to I got to celebrate you. So I
I
know
forgot. I honestly
each other.
forgot about that.
No, you do it. No, you tell them what you got. No, we're getting nothing.
I did. I totally forgot about that. I'm like, what? What else happened? I'm like already on to the next thing. Like I have already checklisted. I'm like, I did this, I did that, I logged it. There's videos about it, there's journal entries about it. Yes, I forgot. Yes, I'm
Today
so
is somebody's
excited.
first time maybe
Get
seeing
in the
you. We're going
door.
to share this. And today somebody is meeting you for the first time. They just fell in love with you today. Because every day, if you get one person and you infect a whole new generation, because that's what it is. It's your touch and their touch to somebody else because you showed up. So there are so many people who have no idea today is their first day to get touched by you. And
That's
that's
right.
what makes what you're doing so powerful. God.
And as you always say, you know, you got to provide enough light. By you showing up, you're providing enough light for somebody else to flip their switch. This is one of her mantras she's been saying for years. Or, yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
years,
Uh-huh.
you know, but
Yeah.
I always carry that with me, like flip your switch, you know, especially when I'm in that zone of like stagnant water. I'm like, I'm not sure. Am I supposed to be doing this? It's like flip your switch, show up, do it, and you help somebody else get there too, because like I said, it's not just you. You are a huge part of it, but there's so many people, several that are watching now too, which I got to give a shout out to here in a minute, that have helped me and inspired me and helped me get to this point that I can't do it alone. None of us can ever do it alone, you know? And big shout out to Sky Daddy, my
Sky
God,
Daddy. I like
my
that.
daddy,
Sky Daddy.
my Sky Daddy, my Heavenly Father, man.
I got a hashtag, put that on the shirt.
He puts it all in my path, you know. He puts us all together. He knits us all together. And what do we do if we take the time? We lift each other up. We bless each other. Watch everybody grow and glow. You know, that it just continues. It's a cycle. If you just, I don't know. I got goosies thinking about it, but we'll take a minute. I do want you to talk about the I See Me Academy. Why don't you do that? We'll go over some comments and shout outs.
Okay.
Tell us about what you got going on. I think this is
okay. So I want to show you guys, if you haven't already seen the How Special Are You, Well, You're One of a Kind. This is the children's book. This children's book, I'm so proud of. It was inspired, I say, 365 days of loving yourself to life, had a baby. And so I took care of the whole house.
That's right.
You know, so with this, it is a self-love initiative mission that I have for our kids. I realized that the suicide rate was so high, and it's because of them not feeling like they were seen, not actually getting that soul of them mentored. And so I wanted to honor having experienced what I did as a child, dealing with molestation, feeling like my life was overwhelming, feeling like I had to suffer in silence for so long, you know, suffer in silence, even in the beginning of my marriage, because I was holding secrets of pains and valleys that, you know, that I wanted to get over. And so I created a book, which is going to remind our amazing kids just how, you know, the journey of them discovering themselves. I want you to see the mirror, and the mirror image in each thing I did in both Prince and Princess edition, so that they could see themselves when they were reading it. So the story is exactly the same, just the images are different, okay? And so when you look at the image, you see is a mirror. And the mirror reflection is not just for children, adults the same. Look, Melissa has us. When you look at the image, you see the little girl is the daughter, your niece, your granddaughter, whomever, your goddaughter, and the woman is who she is becoming. And so the story takes them on a journey of recognizing just how special they are, and that life is going to take them on different roles where they will feel like they're unworthy. They'll feel like they can't make it. But all along, it was about them showing up to recognize that the world will be missing a piece without them, that it is the story of who they are becoming. And so I want them to know just who that is. And so in this pandemic, I was able to create, which I just launched, I See Me Academy.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. This is such a great opportunity for our kids, man. So grateful you're doing this.
What the I See Me Academy will entail, it will be an 8-week live virtual Mentoring the Soul program. There will be group sessions. The group sessions will consist of 2 different classes. You're going to have the Introductory to Self-Love Initiative. Those are ages 5 to 12. And then Understanding Self-Love Initiative, which will be ages 13 to 17. Every Sunday, there will be a group meeting where I will be the host, depending on the week. 2 other weeks, I will separate the girls from the boys, where we will have women speak and men speak on their exact situations. It will be like a Mentoring the Soul type of program, from peer pressure to soul pressure. And so what I did was I have a video that I have shared in my timeline, and which I will share again, which is different children, you know, because I have 5 of my own amazing kids. I also have godchildren and just our friends' kids who have grown up with me. They are 21 and 20 and all these ages, 27, you know, and so I wanted them to give the perspective of what it meant to be soul coach before I knew what it was. And so what I want to offer is that same program. Right now we're in the early bird special. So if you go to my website at I Choose Me Bling Boutique, or the link that I said we're going to put up in here, you'll be able to get the early bird special. What you'll get is 8 weeks of soul coaching group sessions, a 30-minute one-on-one soul coaching session with me. They'll get a book, the How Special Are You, not just for kids book. They'll get a How Special Are You book. They will also receive a t-shirt, I See Me Academy t-shirt. In the 9th week, we will have a virtual graduation because we want to honor them. Why do you get a certificate? You get a certificate because when you go to college, at the end of you putting in the work, it is mandatory that they make all 8 weeks, because that is what it's all about. When you get that certificate, you put it up on the wall to remind you in the times when you feel inadequate that you did the work, that all you have to do is remember the work. So they will receive an I See Me Academy certificate. They will keep a soul time membership to I See Me Academy, which means after the academy 8 weeks are up, every Sunday we will have a group session that will grow from session to session, because it will open, it closed on December 15th, and it won't open back up until March. Okay? No, I mean the early bird closed on December 15th. The actual course enrollment will end on January 10th.
Yeah.
January 10th, and the class starts the 17th of January. So I need a week before because I had to get all those supplies out, because you'll also get a journal. The only thing that is mandatory is that the kids have to write the soul coach a letter, which you have to agree you cannot read. The parent cannot read unless they want you to read it. The reason why they have to write a dear letter to the soul coach is because I want to make sure that every meeting is designed to make sure that I see them right where they are, no matter where you think they belong. Because it's not about what you think they should be. It's about the soul of who they are right now. And until we can get them to see that we all have gone through some things, become transparent with our story, then they will not trust us to guide them into where they're going. And so I'm just excited because this is going to be such a powerful, 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 I know, academy, because I'm just looking at all the kids that's already come through it.
That, and you know, I think too, I go back to, I still, like I have your countdown to 2020. That's still, I saved like all, I think I hit like 95 out of those 100 days and I saved them all to my messenger. And so I still have those coming through. And so this
just listening to one today.
Like, I remember you getting us all amped up and pumped up for 2020, and 2020 did shake out, just like you were saying, man. It was assignment time, action, do. I'm excited. I like your I See Me vision that you got going on for 2021. I think this is going to be more of a fruition sort of year for all of us, where, you know, where the fruits of our labors are going to begin to go. And I'm really excited about it. You know, everybody during this pandemic did get faced with the same situation as far as being stuck at home. And it's like you always say, what'd you do with that time? And, you know, I think everybody, whether you were a parent that had to stay home and learn how to deal with online learning with your kids, or you were a teacher who had to learn how to do that, or, you know, if you had to learn how to make websites and and do things, or if you wrote a book, or if you learned a new hobby, like you did something with your time. I feel like 2021 is going to be really holding like some rewards, rewards in abundance.
We were going to get double for our trouble because it was illegal.
That's right.
Come on now. That's what we're getting, double for our trouble.
I'm looking forward to it too. So, yeah, I also wanted to ask you too, not to put you on the spot online, because if you say no, you know, I still love you anyways, but ask your family there when we do get to do the success chapter, if they'd like to come on and read their quotes.
Of course they
So
would.
everybody can see
I speak for them when I say yes.
that's the point of this. I want everybody to see these kids and these people, everybody who's so different, but it's so crazy how many things you relate to from each other. I'll tell you too, in this book, I think the most profound stuff, you and I aside, of course, that came out of this book was some of these things from these like 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 16-year-olds. I'm like, was I like that at that age? I don't know. You know, I wanted to be a writer since I was 12, much like you. But I'm like, some of these things that are in this book, it would blow your mind that a kid, you know. So I do intend and would love very much to have our kids come on whenever possible. So
it will be our honor. Our honor. I told you when you first sent me the recording, when you read it and like you sent me the recording before it even came out, I was just weeping, like crying, like, oh, what a tribute.
You did that to me with the How Special Are You book, man. I told you, I still cry every time I read that. And I have a hard time reading the foreword that I wrote too, because that came from so much love, you know. I think everything.
Matter of fact, let me read the foreword. Let me read the foreword. Let me give you a taste of Melissa. Listen, this is when I was like, Melissa writes poetry like that? She's been hiding. I had no idea. I said, write me a foreword, and she sends me this. I'm telling you, I remember opening up the foreword, and I just was bawling. My dad was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. So, okay, so let me read it. Because, I mean, I'm used to writing the poems. I'm not used to receiving a poem that's got me weeping, okay? I'm used to making people cry.
Much the same. Much the same here.
So it says, let's play a game, maybe solve a riddle, make a rhyme. Before we do, let's take some time to calm ourselves and open our minds. When you think of life, how do you feel? Are you scared, adventurous, creative, surreal? I'm all of those things, so listen to me as I tell the tale of Precious Pauline. She was born a princess born some time ago, and they named her Precious because of her glow. This amazing light she held deep inside was a love so great that she just couldn't hide. She weathered dark storms, slayed evil dragons, rescued souls on her I Choose Me wagon. The moment I met her, my spirit just itched. You know what she gave me? The light to my switch. I know it sounds backwards, as all riddles do, but she made it make sense like all angels do. The day I found Precious, everything changed. We met by chance, and I know that sounds strange. She gifted me words, warm arms, and a smile, soulful encouragements for the last painful mile, strength to get ready for the really tough stuff, just to remind me I'm more than enough. It's okay to get dirty, to have fun, and to play, to take a small break at the end of the day. Life is a blessing. Don't waste it away. Prince or princess, king or queen, you are perfectly created and meant to be. Know that you're worth it and design your soul. Dragons and demons, just let them go. Never doubt how great thou art. You will win the fight. Princess Precious became a queen, but not just overnight. Hold this book close to your heart and don't ignore that itch. When you hear the magic words, the powers in your switch. Thank you, Precious. I didn't know I was in the dark and what it was like to live in my own light until you. This is the best gift you could give the world and all the generations to come. I love you, sis, Melissa Price. Now, if that was not a dedication, listen, if that didn't prepare them for a story, I mean, I wasn't even ready. I'm telling you, when I say God is so, he's so
intentional
and intentional and so deliberate is the word.
yes.
And you just remind me when I started in the beginning, when I said we are all a big puzzle. And that God has given us a perfect God piece. And that when we show up and connect, we create the big picture. Because to think that to give is to receive. Because I showed up not knowing what I was given. And it fed you. And then for you to honor me back when you came back to the table. It is one thing. And I don't want to cry because we're crybabies. Somebody to come and say, you fed me and I ate at your table, but it is something else for somebody to come back and say, I brought a dish for your feast for the next time. And when you said me that, when you show up, when you share me, when you celebrate what I did, it just, that matters more to me than anything that anybody could ever buy, because I understand that what we offer is priceless. And so you showing up, it's the pricelessness. So when you buy a t-shirt, Melissa, when you share a video, when you ask, how can you help me? And I say, you have done so much already. I mean it in my soul, because you have brought me back a dish. You often come back to ask, how can you make the feast that I've created better? And so for that, I'm so grateful to be your first guest. I'm so grateful to know that my light multiplied is what this looks like. Now that is priceless. And that's why you are going to be everything you dream of, because you follow through with everything that you are. And so I lift you. I praise you. I say thank you. I say not only thank you, but this is me doing thank you as you do for everybody that you touch. You should have so many numbers right now for the amount of people who you show up for. So I just want to say I love you. I see you. Never count the numbers. Count the heart space, because you multiply every time you touch somebody. Don't you ever forget that. Don't you ever forget that. I love you.
Shoot. We did it again.
Look, William.
Again.
You.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I was wanting to read the shout out that I wrote to you just to pay your butt back. Hold on a second. But the copy that I have does not have that one in there. So hold on. No, I'm getting it. I'm going to pay you back now. Hold on. Oh, where we go? Hold on. I got books everywhere.
I know. Brittany, like, that was a great poem, wasn't it? Look, it gets me every time.
I'm not reading this whole shout out. I'm just gonna go at the part.
At the part.
I'm going to the part because I don't know if I'll make it otherwise. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Where'd my glasses go? Now I'm all like cloudy vision.
I know, right?
I got eyeshadow caking up in my eyeballs.
Right now, my bling on my shirt is looking like this.
Bill says you got me in my feelings over here. Let me do this, and I want to read the comments before we head out too, and just say everybody that popped on. I'm not reading this whole thing, but I have a special shout out in my book, and I'm gonna read you the paragraph about Precious.
That made me cry.
It got left out of the book a couple times here, so I was very grateful that it couldn't go without this out there. I called attention to the artists that contributed the book. I called attention to my husband, my mother-in-law, who helped watch the kids through the process of writing the book, and my kids for cooperating, and my mother, who I wrote the book out, and only one special friend, and that was Precious. So her paragraph says, take this, get your tissues ready. All right. Another honorable mention goes out to my sister. She's not my sister by blood per se, but definitely by spirit. She is my soul sister, Precious Pauling. The first time I hugged you in person was at the release of your book, 365 Days of Loving Yourself to Life. Over the past couple years, I watched you publish several others and make some seriously positive changes in this world. I was one of those changes. You inspire me to a level like no other. You taught me to choose me, to love me, that I am worth it, that I am enough. You have been a coach and a contributor both to this book and to my life. You were a friend, but grew to become the sister I never had. Thank you for helping me find my switch and for always celebrating my light. There. I'm going to stop it there before it goes too far and we look like members of the band Kiss before we get off this live.
Oh, you got me. That was a setup. I'm here. You set me up today.
You started it. So, yeah, I want to just say thank you so much for coming on and helping launch this. I'm super duper excited moving forward. And again, this wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for you. And again, a big shout out to William Brown for all of his technical help and support and love. Also, you guys were a great trio, I think.
I think we are the best.
If you want to get a hold of Precious Pauling, I will put her links in the comments below. They've been scrolling all throughout the broadcast, but always after the live ends, we will pop preciouspauling.com in the comments. We will put I Choose Me Bling Boutique in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and put I Am William Brown in the comments, and One Word Conversation, so y'all can catch us live 11 o'clock Sundays. And then my store is lessonsandlegacies.company.site. If you want to personally reach out to me, you can email me at lessonsandlegacies@gmail.com. And again, I'll put all the info in the comments below. Thank you guys to everybody that tuned in live. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes and your shares. And to everybody who catches the replay, we appreciate that. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
And let me say, when we say you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch, the simplest thing you can do to light up somebody's darkness is to hit share.
Yep.
That's a simple light.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing this program is lighting up somebody else's darkness because somebody needed to hear what you just heard. So don't forget that is as simple as a share that is light in somebody's darkness. So don't forget to share this broadcast. Hit hashtag replay so we can know, especially Melissa can see what it means to show up. Like it, hit replay, hit share so that she can see that you value her show up game because that matters.
Thank you. And so again, you'll catch Precious Pauling with me every Monday. Like I said, from now till whenever we decide to change things. And my next guest is going to be on Wednesday. And
I love your next guest.
I know, me too. I'm so excited. It is going to be the one and only Dr. Deborah Dunstan. She is a healing and deliverance coach. She is a master crystal expert. She is she's an author, she's a speaker. I have so many wonderful
free, stay free. She
baptized my daughter during COVID in a blow up pool in our front yard with like only 5 people around. I mean, come on, that's real love, right? I mean, she's amazing. We're going to be talking about faith on Wednesday, so stay tuned to Wednesday with Dr. Deborah and myself, and then Tuesday it'll just be me tomorrow. So I love you so much.
Can't wait to tune in tomorrow.
This is Lessons and Legacies with Melissa Price, and we will catch you guys again tomorrow at 2. And thank you again, Precious, for being here, and we'll see you again soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.